Today I'm going to tell you how magic tricks helped me build a six-figure business. My name is Sean, I'm a mental health coach, and I help clients get results like these. I feel empowered to negotiate pay fairly. Coaching motivates me because it gives me clear action steps to move toward the things that I want. So today we're going to break down just getting started, getting customers, and not getting caught in the weeds. And hopefully in each of these things, there will be some really clear action steps on how you can apply these things to your life in case you want to build a business for yourself. This is the final part of the Coins to Comfort series, which is a series all about how I help clients to build a better relationship with their money. And if you have not yet watched the rest of the Coins to Comfort series, a link to the playlist will show up right up here, or it'll be down in the description depending on where you're watching this. And I would highly recommend watching those first because it is sort of a stepwise process. So the clickbait of this video was, today I'm going to tell you how magic tricks helped me build a six-figure business. What that is all about is that when I was about 13 years old, I auditioned for the Magic Castle in Hollywood and got into the Magic Castle in Hollywood and started performing magic tricks there. And that was sort of my first foyer into my own business, because from there I started trying to get gigs outside of the Magic Castle and started performing elsewhere when I was a little kid. And what allowed me to do that was this first idea that I want to talk about, which is just starting. One of the number one reasons that I see clients not succeed when they want to start their own side hustles or businesses is that they don't start. And normally they have all of these very, logical, rational excuses where there are all of these things that they need to do before they start. And this ties back to a concept that we are all guilty of. It's just something that our mind naturally does, which is that when we feel a very strong emotion, our mind will try to justify it in some way and try to come up with rational reasons to save us from having to feel that emotion. Because if we don't like a certain feeling, then it's our mind's job to try to solve that problem. And so, for instance, if I'm really afraid of starting a business because it's scary, because I might get rejected a whole lot, because a lot of businesses fail and I'm afraid of failure, then my mind is going to present me with all sorts of very sound reasoning why I shouldn't, why I should wait. Because, you need to get a business license first. Oh, you need to make sure that your skills are better first. You need to take more classes first, so on and so forth. And when that happens, what is really, really helpful that I walk through with clients is digging underneath the sort of logical reasons and identifying what the underlying emotion is underneath, what the real fear lying underneath is. Because once you identify that, then you can start to process it. And what that means is that you start to validate whatever feelings you find. So validation is a two-step process. Step one is you tell whoever you're talking to, that including yourself, that what they are feeling makes sense. And step two is you tell them why it makes sense. So for instance, it makes sense that you're afraid to start a business because there is so much risk involved. And by doing this, it helps your emotions to feel heard and understood, which then allows them to flow out of your system, rather than sort of being stuck in your system and puppeteering the show. So the first thing is just start by identifying what emotions are holding you back, processing them, and then moving forward despite all of the, logical objections that come up. The second step is getting customers. So there are 5 ways to get customers. You can reach out to people that you know. You can reach out to people that you don't know. You can create content. You can pay for ads, or you can use some sort of middleman. So let me break each one of these down in a little bit more detail. So reaching out to people that you know is literally pick up your phone and go through your phone contacts or the people that, the mutuals that you have on any given social network, and look at who you might be able to reach out to for whatever kind of business that you're trying to build. And don't worry if you're super nervous, you don't want to be a sellout or anything like that. You can offer it to them for free because you're brand new at this business. And so honestly, you're probably not very good at it yet. And so if you offer it to them for free, one, then you don't have to feel like a sellout. But two, you also get experience in and practice. And what you can ask them for is feedback or a testimonial at the end of providing them whatever service your business is trying to provide. And that way you get to practice and you get to get better, and you also get a great testimonial that you can then use to promote your business later. Reaching out to people that you don't know is probably something to do after you have reached out to people that you know. Now, for some people, for the rare kind of person, it is easier to reach out to people that they don't know than to people that they know. And so if that is you, you can totally start with reaching out to people that you don't know. And it's basically the exact same process. You look through, your social media accounts, and you find who are following you and liking your posts and all that sort of thing, and you reach out to them. Now, one really important part about this is that something that makes it easier to reach out to people that you don't know is if they have shown some sort of interest. And so that can be anything, but I think that the best version of this is some sort of lead magnet. So what a lead magnet is it is offering someone to something, usually for free, in order to get their interest, let them show that they are interested in whatever it is that you're offering. So for instance, I use a quiz. So I say, hey, I have a mental health quiz. If you'd like to take it, there's a quick free 2-minute quiz where you can just get some quick insights into areas that you might want to focus on. Just go to ostaracoaching.com and check it out, or the link is down in the description. And what that does is that people take the quiz, they get some legitimate value from that quiz, because then it shows them, based on their answers, different sort of things that they might want to focus on, and resources that they can look at, all that sort of stuff. And then before they get their results or whatever, it asks for their email so that then I can reach out and contact them. The third thing is that you can create content. This is what I'm doing right now. And what content does is it allows you to reach out to many people at the same time. You put stuff out there, and then lots and lots of different people can find it and show interest through things like liking your posts, commenting on your posts, following you, all that sort of thing. And the other thing that content does is that it helps you build your brand. So when you make content and provide people genuine value, what ends up happening is that they start to make an association between you and the stuff that you make. And so if you are very regularly making stuff that you think is genuinely good for the world, genuinely helpful for the world in some way, then people start to make that association as well. And they think, oh, that Sean guy is always talking about mental health and is always trying to help people improve their mental health in a myriad of ways. That's super cool. When I think about Ostara coaching, I think about mental health. And that association is a really positive association, which is what I want to build. The fourth thing is that you can pay for ads. Now, if you are just starting out, unless you just happen to be affluent, unless you happen to have a lot of cash available to you, I would say that paying for ads is probably not where you want to start. But as you continue to build your business, ads are a great thing to invest in. Once you start making money from your business, you can reinvest it into ads, because essentially all that ads are is putting more eyeballs onto your content. So instead of having to do it organically through, social media algorithms and all of that sort of stuff, you can just say, hey, Facebook, Instagram, whoever you want to advertise through, here's some money. Please show my post to more people. And that way you can let more people know about what you're doing. And then finally, some sort of middleman. So there are always going to be businesses that pop up that serve as a middleman for somebody providing a service and the customer that wants that service. Because a lot of people don't like finding their own customers, because it's hard. It's a lot of hard work. And so if you can find one of those middlemen for your specific kind of customer, then you can go to them and you say, hey, I will, pay you some amount of money, or you can take some amount of cut of the profit that I make, and you just bring me customers. And that can work really, really well, especially when you're first starting out, because it can give you a lot of customers to work with so that you can get more experience, get testimonials, all that good stuff. The third thing is to not get caught in the weeds. So this is similar to just starting, but a lot of times what happens is once people get started, the same kind of thing starts to happen, where all of a sudden they start asking all of these questions about like, oh, but like, what is my niche, and what is the perfect kind of content that I want to create, and am I doing everything right, and all of these different questions. And all of these different questions all come from insecurity. And it makes perfect sense that you would feel insecure because this is brand new. It's something that you've never done before. And so you're, still gaining confidence in it. Did you notice that I just validated how you were feeling about that? That is the practice that you want to go through with yourself. Whenever you notice yourself sort of getting caught in the weeds, take the time to introspect and pay attention to what it is that you're feeling. Validate that feeling so that it can process, and then take the next step forward, even if it's scary. And I know that that is much easier said than done. It's really, really hard, and it's a practice that you have to do each and every day. And one thing that I forgot to mention in terms of getting customers is that once you get some customers, those customers are actually some of your best sources to get customers, because they will refer other people. And the other thing is, so I'm a mental health coach, and in mental health coaching, there are very important boundaries. So for instance, I could not see one of my family or friends as a client. There would be all sorts of boundary issues, conflict of interest. It wouldn't be an okay thing to do. That being said, that doesn't mean that my friends and family can't be people that I reach out to help spread the word, to, provide word of mouth. Because who's going to provide better word of mouth than the people that like you most? So your friends and family can be excellent word of mouth as well. And by spreading that message, you will get a huge portion of clients, and they will also be your best clients because they are mutual connections from people that really, really like you. And honestly, this could be a whole book. I could write a whole book about building a business. But I think that really, when it comes down to it, when I think about what it is that really built my business, this is the core of it. This is the stuff. Everything else is, sauce on top. And that sauce is important. Sauce can turn a dish from meh to great. But we have to start with sort of the core ingredients first, and then from there we can, build on top of it. And then the other thing is that if you have trouble with drive, if you're like, I kind of want these things, but I just don't feel really driven toward anything. I don't really feel like I have any motivation. A lot of that comes down to your why or your purpose. And this is something that I work with a whole lot of clients on and help them to sort of discover their purpose. And so there is a video that will pop up either right here, or it'll be linked down in the description depending on where you're watching this, that goes through exactly how I do that with clients. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.